All right, we are live here, and the Rangers win 1-0 over the Pittsburgh Penguins in their 17th game of the season, heading into the Thanksgiving break now with a 13-3-1 record on the season. And I'm I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this game. I really don't know. I'm not walking away from this one all pumped up, but I'm not like overly infuriated. I'm a little annoyed because yet again it felt like the Rangers' third period play was just simply not good enough. Granted, I will give them credit for this in the third period. Defensively, they were not the best in the first period or two. Then the third period, they started to become nails defensively. The problem is that they played way too much of that hockey in their own end. I know there were some penalties. I know that there was a lot of things that factored into that, but still, I would have liked to have seen a little bit better there. But regardless, I'm definitely feeling okay about this win. Like, again, I'm not to the moon. It was kind of a boring game, to be honest, outside of Jonathan Quick, who I never said a single bad word about in my life. I've loved the guy. I've always loved the guy, you know? Yeah, he ends up getting a shutout and stealing the show, and he was probably the most entertaining part of this game for the Rangers, because outside of that, there really wasn't a whole lot much. They got some good scoring chances in this game, but they just couldn't capitalize on it. Don't know why. Don't know why Tristan Jarry looked that good against the Rangers, but regardless, I'll take the win. I'll take the win. But yeah, we'll talk about everything. Before we do, leave a like on the stream if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel next. But yeah, the first period too definitely had a couple of ugly things early on. Quick was skating too far out of the net at points. Riley Smith almost buried one. And then Ryan Lindgren tries to clear it. Malkin then misses an open net. Zibanejad got a piece of it, but still got a little bit of a lucky break there. Jones turned the puck over. Pittsburgh gets some work offensively going. The refs missed a holding call, and Quick was getting tested a lot. He had a shot that trickled through him. Gensel almost ended up scoring. Crosby almost scored as well. Then coming the other way, the Rangers do almost score. Brendan Lafreniere. I loved what I saw from those two in this game, which we'll talk more about. Panarin and Lafreniere, they easily could have had more points than that. Well, Panarin didn't get a point, but Lafreniere could have had more points than he did. And Panarin could have got a point in this game. But yeah, Lafreniere, he couldn't get a good enough shot off. But regardless, the Rangers would score and make it 1-0. And Lafreniere would get a very good shot off on this one as Graves ended up turning the puck over. Zibanejad taps it over to Lafreniere. He got slashed there on the play, but it didn't matter because he pulls a disgusting backhander, a disgusting move, and buries the backhander, roofs the backhander to make it 1-0. But then the Rangers got going a bit. Mika had a chance that was stopped. The Rangers had more chances there. Coley almost got one in front of the net. Kakko feeding him in front, getting down low. But they started to turn things around a bit in the period. And then it ended up flipping again. Trouba had a turnover to Malkin. He fired wide on that. A lot of turnovers I felt from the Rangers in this game. Like, not a lot, I should say, but when they did turn the puck over, Pittsburgh really made them pay, and they definitely make Jonathan Quick go to work on those. But yeah, Carlson tipped the pass on a rush chance from Trocheck, Panarin, and Lafreniere. Nobody was covering the net from that Jones and Schneider pair. Riley Smith again almost got a goal, but Quick makes two big saves on that. Keandre Miller goes off for a holding penalty. Bonino got denied shorthanded on an opportunity, but Quick had some huge saves. And then this could have been ugly as Zahorna just knocks Jonathan Quick's glove off of his hand. He's signaling to the ref that, yeah, my glove's off my hand. You're supposed to blow the play dead. And then, of course, Hinostroza throws one on goal, and Alex Nylander got a piece of it, I think. And, yeah, they reviewed that for offsides. I thought it was going to be a goalie interference one, but, yeah, apparently they review it for offsides, and that was no goal. According to Arthur Staple, I don't know how true it is, that broke a 77 review streak that the Rangers have been losing on. That's unreal. If that's true, but regardless, it's felt like the Rangers have not got a video review go their way until this game. But Lafreniere then went off for a hooking penalty. The Rangers killed that off. The third line almost scored last minute. Kakko almost buried one. Kakko, we'll talk more about him later on. I thought he had a better game than he's had in recently, but don't get me wrong, it still wasn't great. And it's not like he was that noticeable, but he was doing a lot more right than he's done in previous games. So he was at least visible at points in this game, I should say. But I felt that period was not really the best defensively. They tightened up as it went along, but I thought their D-zone play was really shaky at points. They allowed 3 high-danger chances at 5v5, so that's not the worst on paper, but it felt like things were a little too leaky, especially in the neutral zone. I didn't like their neutral zone D play, but I did like how much they were getting offensive chances, especially creating off the rush. The Rangers got a lot of chances, I felt, coming off the rush because they were flying through the neutral zone at points in the game. I just wish they buried more of their opportunities, but the second period rolls along, and Miller went out of position, and then that ended up creating an offensive chance there for Pittsburgh, but Miller made up for it as he got an offensive shift then coming the other way, and Trocheck fired wide on that opportunity. The second line then, another good shift from them. Lafreniere almost buried one in front of the net. Miller with a high glove shot from the point. They need to get more traffic. Like I'm noticing the Rangers are starting to shoot more from the point. I'd love to see them actually get traffic in front of the net so there's actually a chance that some of those pucks go in or you get the rebound, but they're just not doing that right now for whatever reason. But Riley Smith falls and Wheeler got a look in front. Don't know what that shot was, but we said that at least 50 times with Blake Wheeler. He's something else. Quick then with another glove save on Riley Smith. The forwards getting lazy on the back check again. Blake Wheeler. Gustafsson then makes a play on O'Connor, who got in alone. But again, good skating. Gustafsson's skating is it's everything. It's everything because we've seen in years prior, if that's Patrick Nemeth, if that's Nico Mikkola, if that's Justin Braun, who are the other 7th defensemen? Ben Harper. Like, if we see any of those guys, yeah, that's probably a goal. But Gustafsson's skating, he ended up having a little bit of a mistake there too. But yeah, the Rangers kept getting hemmed in their own end. Panarin, by the way, trying the back check. Letang pulls his jersey. They don't call anything. Gustafsson was puck watching, and then Gensel fires one. It trickles through quick. Gustafsson clears it out of the way, thankfully. But yeah, again, too much leakiness in the defensive zone in those first 2 periods. Bonino, good block on Nylander. The Rangers got a rush chance, and Wheeler with, again, just a brutal shot. But the Penguins do end up taking a penalty as Ludwig goes off for an interference penalty. Panarin had 2 shots denied, but that's pretty much it for the power play. The power play did not do much outside of that, and the power play was not great in this game either way. But yeah, Trouba got denied for a shot. Kreider couldn't bury the rebound. Kreider looked lost on a lot of rebound chances. Like, I don't know why. This is the most lost I've seen Kreider look in front of the net. Like, he's not even aware of where the puck is. He's not ready for the rebounds. He's not ready to deflect pucks in. It's concerning and it's aggravating me. But yeah, Kreider, he needs to step up a bit. Coley then put one in the crease. Kakko couldn't tap it in. Trocheck tried to set up Lafreniere. He got denied on that. And then Trouba tries to bury one. He gets denied. Crosby with a chance alone. He fanned on it. Again, terrible play in the defensive zone. But again, another shaky period defensively. Very shaky defensively. And it's funny too, right? It's funny too. You look at the shots. 9 shots for Pittsburgh in the first. 8 for them in the second. And then 15 in the third. You would think I'd be saying that their best defensive period was one of the first 2 periods. That wasn't the case. It felt like the third period, they were just not allowing Pittsburgh to get as much in terms of quality chances. I think that's the bigger key is they didn't get the quality chances in the third. The first 2 periods, a lot more quality. The end, they tightened things up a bit and they allowed 1 high danger chance, 5v5. you have to remember too, Pittsburgh got a good amount of power plays as well on or in that third period. Yeah, 3 high danger chances on the power play for Pittsburgh. So yeah, they had a lot of chances there, but regardless, at 5v5, there was also the 4-on-4, but 5v5, yeah, they held them to 1. I thought they played better defensively in the third, but the first 2 periods, a lot of ugliness. But the third period wasn't great either. Like, don't get it twisted, because the problem is they spent way too much time in their own end. Miller was out of position yet again. It led to a 2-on-1. Gensel to Crosby, and Quick makes a big save. That's not the first time we'll be saying that. Wheeler goes off for a hooking penalty. Quick with another nice stop on the penalty kill. Bonino with another good block. Kreider then with a chance shorthanded. Drew a penalty at least. Carlson goes off for slashing, and then nothing came from that. Trouba takes a delay of game because, of course. By the way, how about that fan that had that Trouba your art sucks sign? What a cornball. Regardless, though, Rangers do a good job killing that off. Zibanejad, by the way, we'll talk about him. Great penalty kill work from him. And then Goudreau goes off for tripping. Terrible call. Graves clearly dove or lost an edge. Terrible call. But the Rangers kill that off, thankfully, so we don't have to argue about that. But Panarin set up Lafreniere on an odd man rush. He got denied. Carlson then trips Wheeler. And I love the coaching decision by Laviolette to have 2 defensemen out there at the end on the power play. The power play looked awful out there with 2 defensemen, don't get me wrong, and I felt like they got more shorthanded chances than they would have if they had their full first unit out there. But regardless, yeah, they ended up doing okay. I mean, they held the puck a lot. Pettersson walked Gustafsson. Miller had to whack the puck away. And then the last big chance, and that Quick stop, Crosby walked right in. Miller again out of position, and Quick made that big stop. But yeah, they had nothing they had nothing going in that third period. They had 1 high danger chance at 5v5. They had 4 shots. Not going to cut it. Not going to cut it. The third period, this is now the third game in a row where the third period had question marks in it. And again, I felt like they didn't allow as noisy of chances in that third period as they did the first 2, at least at even strength. But you got to be a lot better than that defensively. Like, especially again for a team, like I've been saying, that has been good defensively throughout most of the season. The analytics are going to start coming back down, and things are coming back down with the defense. They had to be better, but Jonathan Quick, good on him. Credit to him for standing up on his head and making the big saves when he needed to, because there were some guys that just simply were not good enough in this game. I'm sorry. The chart says Keandre Miller had a good game defensively. Nope. I disagree with that completely. I felt there were way too many moments in this game he was out of position. I did not like Keandre Miller's game personally. I thought Gustafsson had a rough night in his own end as well. Did not like that. But I will say, Zach Jones and Braden Schneider, credit to those two. Credit to those two at points in this game, because there was a lot of question marks going into this game for me, because I figured Crosby would be chomping at the bits every time he's hopping over the boards to feast on Jones and Schneider. Anytime they were matched up against each other, they did a good job neutralizing him. So good on them. I disagree with how good the defensive analytics are in this game. I didn't think they were that great. I thought Mika was good defensively. I thought Mika had a great game. He responded, granted, not the way you want in terms of, getting a goal. You want to see him net a 5v5 goal, but at least he gets a 5v5 point, and he was noticeably better. Like, that was the Mika Zibanejad that we need more of. If they could get this type of Mika more consistently, that's going to be a good sign, and they're going to win a lot more games. Lafreniere had a great night. Panarin, I thought he was better than the chart says too. Like, there's a lot of things that I actually disagree with. The fourth line, I agree with them being at the bottom, but I felt they did a lot of big things at the end of the game, which I will say that. They blocked a lot of shots. They stepped up at the end. The Rangers had 24 blocked shots. Huge. And I think that's part of why the defensive metrics look the way they do, because some analytics love block shots, some hate block shots. So you just can't win. You just can't win. But Zach Jones, I ripped on the guy. Good on him for having a better game in this one. He was actually solid tonight, but I don't really have much else to say with this game. It was a very boring game. I'm not really overly excited. I'm not mad. Like, they won the game. They got 2 points. I'm very happy about that. Very, very happy about that. Uh, but some of the defensive play needs to be a bit better at points in the game. I felt a lot of it was also due to the neutral zone play defensively, at least being a little shaky at times. I thought Pittsburgh got through the neutral zone at points a little too easily, but I will again, you take the 2 points and you live with it. But the offense, I'm loving that the offense is starting to generate more. I'm loving that the offense is starting to generate more. It would be really nice if they capitalize on more of their chances. But I'm going to get to the chat. I don't really have much else to add with the game. Before I jump into the chat, leave a like, please, if you have not already. I would appreciate that. But let's get to chat. Wasn't pretty, but we won. Yep. Quick looks amazing, guys. I think he's played better than Igor this year. Taking into account all the different factors. Yeah, I mean, you can't disagree with that, to be honest. Like, and I expect Igor to be better, but it's just a fact. Quick has been better than Igor thus far. Yeah, Benino and Goudreau had some good shifts at the end of that game. Yeah, I like the chances they got. Solid W. I liked our game in the O zone and neutral zone. I liked our stick positioning as well. Defensively, we were solid in the third, but we backed up and it invited way too much pressure. Yeah, I thought they sat back way too much in the third period. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. But I actually disagree. I felt that the neutral zone at points was a little leaky from the Rangers side of things, but that was honestly the game as a whole. Like, I felt as a whole, both teams were a little leaky in the neutral zone at points, but yeah. Again, they sat back a little too much. That was the issue. 32 saves, quick. 3.82 goal save above expected. Not too bad. Refs were garbage. Yeah. This game is by far the best Mika's looked. Yeah, that I agree with. Hopefully he could put together against a certain team he particularly likes to own coming up. Yeah, he might have that game circled on his calendar on Friday. Because he loves playing Philly. We know that. Yeah, Mika was great. Mika was great. Is there a goalie controversy? Yeah, Quick has been good though. I know you're joking, but Quick has been good. Yeah, no, apparently no stopping the play if the goalie loses his glove. Yeah, Miller had some rough moments in this game. I think Benino was the best player tonight. Okay. Now he just need to win another 10 in a row. The three things for me I didn't like tonight was in the first two periods, I didn't like our play in the D zone. Agree. Too many penalties, and we have to start putting away our chances. Couldn't agree more with all those points. I felt that again, they didn't capitalize enough on the opportunities that they got. Um, Especially against Tristan Jarry. You gotta be better than that against Tristan Jarry. That was inexcusable to me. But yeah, I yeah, I agree. Too many penalties too. Like, that was another big problem. But a lot of them, I'm not even gonna fault them, especially because of that one tripping call in particular. That was garbage. I am so tired. I'm sorry that this has been a terrible post game show. I do want to say that. Uh yeah, when Fox comes back, that will help. Yeah, they have to start bearing more of these chances, Steven. You're right. And yeah, the power play at the end was a bit bizarre, but it worked out. Yes, leave a like, Christopher. Thank you. What else am I missing? If someone told me Quick was going to be better than Igor before the season, I would have slapped them. Yeah, I would have. I would have laughed, and I would have. I would have called someone an idiot for that. I would have, like, especially with the way that Quick looked in the preseason. There was not a chance I thought that he was going to be even serviceable, and it's only November, so I don't want to jump too ahead of myself. But yeah, so far, uh, pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff in the 7 games. Once Igor gets going, that's really going to bring things up. I was 50-50 on Keandre tonight. There were some points where he looked good and there were points he looked shaky. I agree. I thought he had a lot of noticeable shaky plays though. That's the thing. Agree. They need to get another scoring forward. Heedle status, concussion. Yeah, he has a concussion, and I don't even know when he's coming back, nor do the Rangers. So that's the unfortunate part. We don't have really a definitive update with Heedle. I don't know if Heedle's coming back this season. I don't. The concussions are bad. Apparently, he's like mentally going through it too because of all of it. And I just hope the main thing I hope is that he's okay in general. Like I'm actually worried. I'm really worried about the fact that he's not even skating. That's really alarming to me. You would figure by now he'd at least be skating. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. But that's scary. Generating the chances, zero finishing ability. Yep. Yeah, Lafreniere is looking like a first overall pick, thankfully. He's looking better. We need a center that can score. What's wrong with Mika? Quick has been great. Mika had a very good game tonight. Unfortunately, like we're talking about, didn't score at 5v5. Got a point, but he was great tonight. I have no complaints about Mika Zibanejad tonight. I have none. Like again, the only thing you can complain about is they didn't score, but again, they won the game regardless. So it's like you can't even be upset about that entirely. What was I looking at just now? All right. Let's see. Kako is useless. Again, I felt tonight he had a better night than he's had recently. Again, like don't take this as me saying Kako played good tonight. Like I don't want to get that. I don't want to get twisted with my words there, but he at least was visible at points in this game. Like there was every now and then he'd make a play in the Rangers' own end, and I'm like, okay, that's at least promising. And even offensively, like he was at least setting his line mates up at points. But still, he needs to be better. I think they could have played better in front of Quick, to be honest with you. I think they could have played better in front of him. The third period, like I said, they played nails defensively. Even though 15 shots, you would think they didn't. They were nails defensively in the third. They did not allow a lot of high danger chances, but it was the first 2 periods where they could have played a lot better. Give it to him New Year's. If Heedle isn't back by then, you have to put him on LTIR till the play. I disagree. Like at that point, I don't think there's really a purpose in putting him on LTIR, to be honest with you, for the loophole, because what like the only reason we're having the LTIR discussion right now in November is because of Patrick Kane being on the market, where if Heedle is done for the year and then you're not going to bring him back until the playoffs, then you could go out and actually get Patrick Kane. But if but by New Year's, at that point, you might as well just evaluate until the trade deadline, then just put him on LTIR so you can make the moves if he's still not back by then. So I don't know. Like I don't think they have to rush him on LTIR unless again they really, really, really want to get Patrick Kane. So Kako had some good moments. I agree. Penguins got goalied, yeah. Next game's Friday afternoon. Yep, we got 2 back-to-back afternoon games. Benoit Allaire is a god. Yeah, you're right. He is. Laugh has been good. Yeah, Lafreniere has been. Lafreniere has. I owe him such a big apology. I really do. Especially like I'm not gonna fully apologize until the playoffs because I want to see what happens there. Same goes for Panarin, but if both of them play like this in the playoffs, I'm giving them a big time apology. Like that's not even a doubt. Meek is a bad shot. Alexi Lafreniere should be a point per game right now. Like he's got robbed of a couple of assists. He should be a point per game guy. I read they're not in on Kane. I I saw a report today that Darren Dreger said that the Rangers are still keeping tabs on Kane. I've seen conflicting reports. I don't know what to believe. Um, do I think they're going to end up with Patrick Kane? Probably not. Probably not. I think he ends up in Florida, but I'm bringing it up for the sake of if the Rangers do want to put Hedo on LTIR, the only reason you'd put him on LTIR right now is to go get Patrick Kane because you're not making a trade in November. And then even come New Year's, you're not making a trade come New Year's unless let's hope that the Rangers aren't starting the spiral. I'm knocking on wood with that too. But yeah, like you're not going to make a move around then. So I don't see a reason to put Hedo on LTIR until like February unless you're going to try and bring back Patrick Kane. Like that's the only reason I think that he would go on LTIR. I don't buy into the William Nylander rumblings. Toronto's not trading him at all. There's not a chance, and I'd love him to be here, but the Rangers I don't think could fit him in cap wise. Like even if you move Gaudreau, even if they let Kakko go, even if they move Filipino, you're gonna have to sacrifice some depth on the back end too. Like one of Lindgren or Gustafsson won't be back next year. Braden Schneider maybe is not back. Like I just think you lose way too much. For me personally, with the Nylander stuff, unless he's willing to sign a like 9 to 10 million, like then we can maybe talk. But I'd imagine he's gonna get like 11.5 million. If it's 9 to 10, like maybe there could be a conversation there, but I don't see it with the reports that he might get like 11.5. I don't see that. And you might as well wait for bigger free agents come the future because 2025-26 you have Mitch Marner who might hit the market. Granted, I don't think he will, but you have Marner that hits the market. Rantanen could hit the market for all we know. Draisaitl is on the market. Like you have guys, and then the year after is where it really gets fun if you want to start things. Connor McDavid's a free agent. Jack Eichel's a free agent. Could finally make that happen. Kaprizov's a free agent. Laine's a free agent. Robertson's an RFA. But my point is, like, I like William Nylander, but would you rather spend the money on William Nylander and sacrifice depth or wait for the cap to jump up further and wait to sign a guy like McDavid or Draisaitl or Eichel or someone like that? That's just me. That's just me. I would take Patty Kane back in a heartbeat. Put Heedle on LTIR. It honestly, it depends what the status is with Heedle. I mean, you guys know that I would like Kane back. I know people call me stupid. I hear it all the time. I know people don't like it. But the fact of the matter is that there is a right wing issue, and if he's willing to sign for cheap, like I still just don't see why you don't just take a flyer on him. Like I really don't if he's willing to sign for cheap. But if he's looking to break the bank, then fine. Like I've always stood on the stance too. I think this is a thing that gets like misconstrued when people hear me talk about Patrick Kane, is that I've always stood on the fact that if he's asking for more than $1 million, I don't think he comes back. Like I don't, and I wouldn't blame the Rangers at that point too. If he's asking for more than $1 million, then fine. Like I understand you want to save cap room there and you don't want to have to cut ties with too many guys. That's understandable. But if he's willing to sign for cheap, I just don't see why you don't at least take a flyer. And the only argument I could see is what people have made online, that look at Blake Wheeler right now and the Rangers still aren't pulling him from the lineup because he's could be a future Hall of Famer. Would that be the case with Kane? Heaven forbid he's not good and he comes here. I don't know, but we have to see him perform. But again, that's just my take with that. But yeah, Kane would not play with Panarin though if he came back. He wouldn't. Fox, Igor, and Laffy for McDavid. I would not do that though. That I would not do. And I know people might call me stupid for that, but you're losing your number one goalie, you're losing your number one defenseman, and Lafreniere's a piece. Like, don't get me wrong, I know he's having a breakout year, but you still would move Lafreniere for McDavid. But to move all three of those guys in one, that I wouldn't. I don't know if I would do that. Like as good as Connor McDavid is, because we see how much the defense takes a bit of a hit with Fox out. People might call me crazy for that, but maybe it's just I'm blinded by the fact that McDavid's having a down year right now, and by that I mean he's still a point per game guy, but still, like, I don't know. But I'm gonna wrap things up here. 47 viewers here. I would appreciate everyone leaving a like on their way out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the post-game show. I'm sorry for keeping it short. There's really not much to talk about this game, to be honest. So not much really to say. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving tomorrow as well. As long as you're in America. I know we have some Canadian viewers here that are Ranger fans, but if you're American, I hope you have a very good Thanksgiving tomorrow. And yeah, we'll be back at it again for some matinee action and back-to-back games. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Subscribe if you guys are new. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live next on the channel. And I will see you guys in the next one. Let's go Rangers.